Gina Hurry, and I'm originally born in Birmingham from Montgomery, Alabama. Lived there most of my life and live back in Birmingham now with my family. My first memory of art making was, I don't know if I was in diapers, but I was really small, and I remember coloring all over my mom's closet walls with her lipstick. So that's my first memory, and I have always been making art as long as I can remember. InSpero really, our mission is to nurture creative community, because we believe that when the artists and the visionaries and pastors flourish, that the city and the church will flourish. So sort of in my own words, it is more about the artist being set free to be fully who they are and to believe their work matters. Just calling them to wake up and create, because there are people in the world that need what they have to say. In the beginning, we were really more under the church, and then after several years, just realized we'd have a little more traction, could move a little more freely if we were outside the church, so we became a nonprofit. And at that point, there was kind of a reorienting. God was kind of bringing along Nancy Carroll, who that's really when InSpero became a nonprofit. And I was just at a place of just wanting to give up, and she came along and said, she would continue to walk with me if I wanted to go. And so that's when there was a structure that came together. We formed a board. We had people that began to support us financially, and so instead of us just taking care of everything ourselves. And so some of the first things we had done in the church were things like art shows or music collaborations with artists, or those kinds of things. But it's evolved to really where we've had retreats for artists to help nurture their souls, give them opportunities to be in community with one another, spiritual direction, opportunities. I think some of the early, maybe the first big event we had as a nonprofit was called 50 Years of Hopes and Dreams, and it was down at a brewery downtown here in Birmingham. It was focused on the 50-year anniversary of the bombing of the 16th Street Baptist Church. Since we believe that beauty is really healing, we kind of tend to try to identify the wounds in our city and just see kind of how beauty might impact those places, the people that really need hope or healing. And so we invited artists to create based on a prayer or a hope or a word, something they'd want to say to their city as a gift of healing. And so that was our first official event, and then we've just done a lot of things since then. So kind of big events now and then, InSpero does, and you feel like a big event is really important and like it was this huge thing. But I think Nancy and I come away so often and say probably, who is the one person, like it was worth it if it was just for one. And I think so. Our favorite thing, I think, has been coming away from an event and just trying to guess maybe who was encouraged or whose heart was lifted. And there have been times when people have, reached out and said, please encourage this artist. Their partner just committed suicide, and we really feel like they feel their life doesn't matter. And so we've had the privilege of just entering in with people in hard places. We have an event in a couple nights that really is just for one artist. It's a musician who has stepped away from his faith, and he's always played for the church and cared for the church, and played with worship leaders and pastors, and so we're just going to take an hour and listen to his music, let him play the piano, and share kind of why, where he is now, and why he's just decided to walk away.
Sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee.
My name is Sarah York, and I'm a senior at Stanford University studying interior architecture with a minor in fine arts. So the first time I met Gina Hurry was, I think, when I was 12, and OMPC had put on this art market, and I had put some pieces that I had painted just when I was younger in the show, and she was actually probably the only person to buy one, and it's still hanging in her house today. And that truly impacted me as a young creative person, seeing that somebody like Gina Hurry, who paints these beautiful things, found value in my art. And then later on, Gina and I actually had the opportunity to go to Northern Ireland together when I was a senior in high school, and I felt like that truly was the first time Gina and I really got to connect. And then later on, when I moved back to Birmingham to go to Samford University, Gina reached out to me about working with her for InSpero. So I believe that the importance of local artists is that they are in the depths of the community. They bring to the table so much beauty because everyone sees things different, and so you get all these different perspectives of what makes Birmingham beautiful to them. And I think that when you bring all those people together in one room, a lot of truly amazing things happen, which is what InSpero loves to do.
This is my song, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art, how great thou art, how great thou art.
So my advice to young artists would be to don't stop creating, don't stop trying, just keep going, try new things, find what really you're passionate about and pursue that. Don't get distracted in what other people are doing, but be more inspired by what other people are doing, which is what I feel like InSpero really brings to the table. People with all sorts of different interests and how those interests can be combined together to make something beautiful. Say if you feel like you're not good enough or you're not, doing what other people are doing, don't look at all that around you and just stay focused on yourself and know that what you're doing is for a greater purpose beyond you, because God instills those passions within your heart.